10 of the weirdest looking animals you won't believe exist. The animal kingdom is a wonderful place. From the weird and terrifying creations to the unique and ingenious ways that life has managed to find a way, evolution has given us thousands of creatures that are difficult to even comprehend. Here's 10 weird animals you won't believe exist. Number 10. Goblin shark. The goblin shark is a rare species of deep-sea shark. Sometimes called a living fossil, it has a lineage some 125 million years old. This pink-skinned animal has a distinct profile with an elongated, flattened snout and a highly protrusible jaw containing prominent nail-like teeth. It is usually between 10 and 13 feet long when mature, though it can grow considerably larger. Goblin sharks inhabit upper continental slopes, submarine canyons, and seamounts throughout the world at depths greater than 330 feet, with adults found deeper than juveniles. Various anatomical features of the goblin shark, such as its flabby body and small fins, suggest that it is sluggish in nature. This species hunts for teleost fishes, cephalopods, and crustaceans both near the sea floor and in the middle of the water column. Its long snout is able to sense minute electric fields produced by nearby prey, which it can snatch up by rapidly extending its jaws. Small numbers of goblin sharks are unintentionally caught by deep water fisheries. The International Union for Conservation of Nature has assessed it as least concern, despite its rarity, citing its wide distribution and low incidence of capture. Number 9. Striated frogfish. This small fish grows up to 8.7 inches long. Like other members of its family, it has a rounded, extensible body, and its soft skin is covered with irregularly arranged dermal spinules resembling hairs. Its large mouth is forwardly extensible, allowing it to swallow prey as large as itself. The coloring of its body is extremely variable because individual fish tend to match their living environments. Frogfishes have the capacity to change coloration and pigment pattern, taking only few weeks to adapt. The dominant coloration varies from yellow to brownish orange, passing through a range of shades, but it can also be green, gray, brown, almost white, or even completely black without any pattern. Body and fins can be marked with roughly parallel dark stripes or elongated blotches, some with rays radiating outward from the eye. The striated frogfish is found in the tropical and subtropical waters, from the Indian Ocean to the center of the Pacific Ocean, and in the Atlantic Ocean on the west coast of Africa, and from the New Jersey coast to the southern Brazil coast, including the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean. The only waters these fish are not found in are the Mediterranean and the Arctic. Number 8. Irrawaddy dolphins. The Irrawaddy dolphin has an instantly recognizable, charismatic round face and head with no beak. They look like baby belugas, only with a dorsal fin. Irrawaddies have expressive faces thanks to their movable lips and have creases around their necks as they're able to move their heads in all directions. They are gray all over but lighter on the belly. Their flippers are long and large with curved leading edges and rounded tips. Their tails are also large. Irrawaddy dolphins are found in small groups of 6 or fewer, but up to 25 have been known to gather in deep pools to fish. They're also slow swimmers and avoid boats. They do not bow ride and generally dive when frightened. They sometimes shy hop, tail slap, body rub, or roll to one side while waving a flipper. Irrawaddies can spit spouts of water at the surface, and we think it's to make it easier for them to help catch fish by confusing them. It could also be a social behavior. It is not known what the total population of Irrawaddy dolphins is, though they are endangered throughout their range. Number 7. Red-lipped batfish. The red-lipped batfish is an unusual fish. The red-lipped batfish is a bottom dweller and is usually found within the sandy bottom of reefs or on the ocean floor. The body color of the red-lipped batfish is light brown and gray on its back with a white stomach. On the top side there's usually a dark brown stripe made of brown dots, starting at the head and going all the way down to the back of the tail. The snout and horn of the red-lipped batfish is a brownish color. As its name suggests, the batfish also has bright, almost fluorescent red lips, looking as though it has recently eaten a bloody meal or is wearing some very bright lipstick. The red-lipped batfish has another strange trait. Although it is capable of swimming along the seabed in search of food, the batfish's fins are better adapted to work as pseudo-legs. These legs are used to walk and perch on while it surveys its surroundings. Like other anglerfish, the red-lipped batfish has a structure on its head known as an elysium. This adaptation is thought to be employed for luring prey in, like other small fish and small crustaceans like shrimp or mollusks. Number 6. Naked mole rat. Naked mole rats have wrinkly pink or grayish pink skin, which is somewhat translucent on their undersides and light purplish brown on their backs and tails. This counter shading appears to be lost with advanced age. They have short, broad heads with powerful jaw muscles and very large incisors, which they use to dig tunnels. Naked mole rats are usually 3 inches long and weigh 1 to 1.5 ounces. However, soldiers can weigh up to 2 ounces, and the queen, who is the largest member of the colony, can weigh up to 2.5 ounces. Naked mole rats are found in eastern Africa, specifically Ethiopia, Kenya, Djibouti, and Somalia. They live exclusively in underground burrows and tunnels in grassy and semi-arid regions. They have no external ears and they have very tiny eyes, which makes them virtually blind. Their sense of smell is important, and they are also very sensitive to vibrations in the ground and the movement of air currents. These burrowing rodents eat the underground parts of plants, particularly the succulent tubers formed by many of the plant species that grow in arid areas. They obtain all the water they need through their food, so they do not drink. Number 5. The aye-aye. Aye-ayes can be found only on the island of Madagascar. These rare animals may not look like primates at first glance, but they're related to chimpanzees, apes, and humans. Aye-ayes are dark brown or black and are distinguished by a bushy tail that is larger than their entire body. They also feature big eyes, slender fingers, and large, sensitive ears. Aye-ayes have pointed claws on all their fingers and toes except for their opposable big toes, which enable them to dangle from branches. Aye-ayes spend their lives in rainforest trees and avoid coming down to earth. They're nocturnal and spend their day curled up in a ball-like nest of leaves and branches. The nests appear as closed spheres with single entry holes situated in the fork of large trees. While perched aloft, the aye-aye taps on trees with its long middle finger and listens for wood-boring insect larvae moving under the bark. It employs the same middle finger to fish them out. The digit is also useful for scooping the flesh out of coconuts and other fruits that supplement the animal's insect diet. Many people native to Madagascar consider the aye-aye an omen of bad luck. For this reason, they often have been killed on sight. Such hunting, coupled with habitat destruction, have put aye-aye populations at risk. Today, they're protected by law. Number 4. Atlantic wolffish. Atlantic wolffish are voracious predators, and the large head, powerful jaws, and large canine teeth are all used to hunt and eat hard-bodied or spiny invertebrates, such as sea urchins, crabs, large marine snails, and the like. They often reach lengths of up to 5 feet long. Atlantic wolffish are usually solitary but form pairs during the breeding season. They mate via internal fertilization, and females spawn relatively large eggs, which both genders guard until they hatch. This level of parental care is rare among fish. Individuals have even been known to mate and nest in public aquariums, guarding their eggs for several months. These fish are restricted to the cold waters of the North Atlantic Ocean, and their blood contains several natural compounds that prevent it from freezing. Atlantic wolffish are good table fare, and throughout its range, it is fished by both recreational fishers and occasionally commercial net fishers. It is slow to mature and likely naturally rare, and over the last several decades, scientists have observed steep declines in its numbers. In the United States, it is considered a species of concern, as many ecologists consider the Atlantic wolffish to be a keystone species in North Atlantic Ocean food webs. Regulating populations of sea urchins and other invertebrates, it is important to consider conservation measures for this rocky reef predator. Number 3. Star-nosed mole. A star-nosed mole is surely one of the world's weirdest looking animals. If you were to come face to face with one, you might think its head had been replaced with a tiny octopus. And for an animal that's nearly blind, the American species is incredibly speedy. The world's fastest eater, it can find and gobble down an insect or worm in a quarter of a second. As the fuzzy little carnivore plows through soggy soil, it bobs its head in a constant motion. In the mole's dark underground world, sight is useless. Instead, it feels a world pulsing with prey. The mole hunts by bopping its star against the soil as quickly as possible. It can touch 10 or 12 different places in a single second. It looks random, but it's not. With each touch, 100,000 nerve fibers send information to the mole's brain. That's 5 times as many touch sensors than in the human hand, all packed into a nose smaller than a fingertip. Number 2. Tube-nosed fruitbat. The tube-nosed fruitbat is found on Negros, Cebu, and Sibuyan Islands in the central Philippines. It's found only in tropical forested areas and mainly utilizes the high canopy. The striking physical features from which this animal gets its name are its tubular nostrils, which are separate and are about 6 millimeters long. Body coloration is sexually dimorphic, with females being a light golden brown or buff color, and males a darker, more chocolatey brown. Both sexes have a dark stripe extending from the shoulders to the tail and a light spot on their ear and wings. The bats measure about 142 millimeters in total length, with tail being 25 millimeters, ears being 20 millimeters, and the forearms being 76 millimeters. The species group is generally solitary and adopts a daytime roost in dry foliage of the lower to mid-story of the forest. Little is yet known about the habitats of this recently described species, but like other nyctamine species, it probably eats a variety of local fruits and perhaps some insects as well. Number 1. The Yeti Crab. The Yeti Crab, known as Kiwa hirsuta, an unusual, hairy crab with no eyes, was discovered in 2005 on a hydrothermal vent near Easter Island. It represents not only a new species but also a new genus, Kiwa, after the mythological Polynesian goddess of shellfish. This clawed crustacean ranges in length from half a foot to under an inch. It's only the third known species of Yeti crab, a group of shaggy-armed creatures first discovered in the South Pacific in 2005. Exactly how the Yeti crab fits into hydrothermal vent ecosystems is still a mystery. Researchers saw the crabs eating mussels that were cracked open on the sea floor, but they also saw Yeti crabs holding their hairy claws out over plumes of warm water from hydrothermal vents. Because the crab's hairy arms support large colonies of filamentous bacteria, the scientists speculated that the crabs might be farming the bacteria as a source of food. This is not as far-fetched as it sounds. At least 2 other crab species have similar habits. Alternatively, lacking eyes, the crab may use their hairs, which are actually flexible hair-like spines called setae, as tiny chemical and physical sensors that help them find food or mates in the deep ocean. Well, our video has reached its end. If you liked it, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe for more content just like this.